All right, guys, we're going to talk about something that is going to have a lot of issues in the comments. Are backyard chickens actually worth it? In 2026, and welcome back to Ancestry Lands, and I'm going to start with that same questions. Now, if egg prices are spiking overnight, and we've all seen what that looks like, is it actually smart to keep a few chickens in your backyard in 2026? Or is it one of those ideas that sounds, amazing online and it looks great on a homestead Instagram page? And the second you buy a coop, it turns into a money pit with feathers. But because here's the thing, backyard chickens are having a serious moment right now. Nearly 1 in 5 Tractor Supply customers raises chickens, 1 in 5. And their CEO straight up said concerns about egg prices help to push that number. And it hasn't slowed down even as prices have come back a little bit. I don't know why she's holding a bow. Hopefully, she's not shooting chickens. And honestly, it's not hard to see why people don't like those alternatives. The USDA, Department of Agriculture, tied to a lot of that price pressure to bird flu, which some people in other comments have said that's BS. I get it. Hitting laying hens. Now we're talking about 19 million egg laying hens wiped out in just 2025. Conspiracy theorists, please enter into the chat. That much supply disappears. The fast prices, they don't stay the same. They're going to come up. The USDA even announced that 1 billion in investments to fight the bird flu. Bullshit. Bring egg costs back down, 1 billion with a billion. So when people start doing the math, raising their own chickens, hey, I'm right with you. And today we're going to do the math. And honestly, no fluff. No, you'll never have to buy egg again. Promises. We're not doing that either. These are real numbers, real timeline, real costs that nobody puts in their YouTube thumbnail. And that's why I do get comments like yours. First, let's talk about the big myth floating around chicken circles. The myth is backyard eggs are free eggs. And we know that is not the truth. Because they could be cheaper than store eggs over time. Yeah, possibly. But are they going to be higher quality? Absolutely. And for a lot of people, keeping chickens is part of a hobby, part therapy, and part of what they don't want someone to have control over their food supply. And all of that is valid. Your only goal is to save money, then you'll need to treat this like a small home business. You need to think about startup costs, operating costs, and output, because that's how you figure out if your eggs are actually costing you or they're actually saving you. So let's break it down. And I want to start a flock that gives you eggs without you turning your yard into a soap opera. Most beginners should aim for 3 to 6 hens, and that's the sweet spot. Enough birds to get a solid supply of eggs, and not so many that you're overwhelmed before you even know what to do. The common beginner mistake is to start too big, too fast, and that's with everything. More hens mean more feed, more bedding, more mess, and more things that can and will go wrong. Start small and get your education first. Now, that's everything again. Now, startup costs. Here's a headline. Your coop is going to be the biggest single expense and some real cost breakdowns. And we'll put a beginner setup somewhere between $5 to $1,000 range. And I will have a link to a beginner coop setup in my description section below. The coop is the reason why. You got two paths here. The path is the budget, but functional route. And you could build or buy a basic one, which is in my Amazon description link again, with a simple feeder, basic waterer, and minimal extras. This can work, but it takes more of your time and DIY energy. Path B is I actually want this to be the easy route, pre-built coop and maybe an automatic door, better feed storage, weatherproofing. You pay more upfront, but you pay less in daily frustration. And that's the real question with chickens. Do you want to pay upfront in equipment or pay later in a daily headache? Because one way or another, you're paying. My mom said that about when I was dating. There's no such thing as a free lunch or a free breakfast egg. Apparently, okay, that now we got the coop handled. What does it cost every month to keep them alive and laying? For a small flock, 4 to 6 hens, most realistic estimates put monthly costs somewhere between $25 to $50. That covers feed, bedding, and miscellaneous stuff. Now, that number can go up or down depending on where you live and the feed costs locally. Whether your hens get to free range or supplement their own matters. A climate affects the cost and weather does too. And you got to think about those predators. We saw that fox up there. I live in an area where foxes are rampant. And that could be a painful cost of this whole thing. Eggs, that's the whole point. But if you start with chicks, baby chicks, you're not getting eggs next week. You're getting raising babies, which means you're mother hen. And there's a runway period to several months where you're spending money on feed with zero egg output. That matters when you're thinking about breakdown. And that's exactly why some people skip chicks altogether. They start by starting young hens, I'll just call them that are almost ready to lay. They cost more up front, but then you cut the waiting period down once your hens start laying. Four hens averaging 4 to 5 eggs a week can give you roughly 16 to 20 eggs a week. And that's about 1.5 dozen a week. That's the total. We're doing a little bit of math there, compound math. That's a solid amount to most households. And here's the break even math simplified. Say you spent $750 to get started, and monthly costs right about $35. You should produce around 5 to 6 dozen eggs a month. How long does that take to pay back that startup cost and saved eggs? Faster if the stored eggs stay expensive, slower if the prices come down, much slower if something goes wrong, early predators, disease, or bad weather. The honest answer is it can pay off, but it's rarely quick. Anyone who's had or told you so, they're not telling you the truth. Now, the hidden costs. There's most chicken videos gloss over. The hidden costs are predators, raccoons, hawks, foxes, neighborhood dogs. If your coop is not built right, it's only a matter of time before they get in, you start losing birds. And it's not just emotionally rough, it's literally money and egg production walking out the door or getting dragged off through a hole in a wire. And it's not just that, they can actually get them and grab them by the limb and pull them right through that little gate, injuring your chickens. Now, the other one is time. A daily flock is a small commitment, but a daily commitment, morning, evening, and every day. Chickens do not care about your schedule. They don't care if you got to work, got kids. They care about food and not dying. So those are the things you have to do. Now, hidden costs, winter, depending on where you live, if it snows, you're keeping water from freezing and managing moisture. Making sure there's ventilation without drafts add up to both time and supplies. Another one on the hidden cost, local rules. Some cities and towns may limit how many hens you can keep. Some ban roosters entirely, which your neighborhood will probably thank them for. Some require setbacks. I have a video on that. From property lines, that's about how much feet you have to have certain things away from certain sides and where you can put them. Now, here's your straight answer. Backyard chickens are worth it if you want resilience and some control over your food supply. But again, you have to commit to daily care. It's okay if you're breaking even with some time, but you're going to build a predator-proof setup from day one, not day 45 when something goes wrong. Backyard chickens are probably not worth it if you're chasing instant savings. If you travel a lot with no one to cover for you, or you're not willing to maintain the setup through all 4 seasons. And this is what I'll say to you. If you do it right, you just don't get eggs. You get a skill that doesn't disappear when the supply chains get weird. You get a little food security you built yourself, and a whole lot of mornings that start off with something real, something you raise, something meaningful, and something you understand that doesn't depend on a government or system swinging wildly from one year to the next. That's not nothing. Now, that actually kind of thing that you can get a real breakdown on backyard chickens. And that's what we want to do, help you through the decision. If you do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and give me the HMO special. Help a brother out. As you don't know, you don't miss what's missing on Ancestry Lands coming up next. And we'll keep it honest, keep it practical, and keep things under control one video at a time. I want to hear from you in the comments. What are you doing this year? Let me know. If you've already raised chickens or you're a person that disagrees, that's fine. Comment below. We'll, take it all. But try to be helpful and give us some wisdom. Drop your comments below. I read them. And we don't always get things right. So let us know. Keep your hands dirty. Get your coop secure. Get your egg math honest. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. That's it, folks. You can go to Ancestry Lands to start owning property today with payments starting at $250 a month, no credit checks, and owning land has never been easier. It's time to build your land portfolio one property at a time. We help you to get dollars from dirt and build generational wealth by owning small plots of affordable vacant land. Contact us to learn more. Oh, and speaking of dollars from dirt, I also wrote a book about investing in land for you readers out there. My book, Getting Dollars from Dirt, A Beginner's Guide to Vacant Land Investing, is on Amazon. The link is in the description section below. Inside, you'll learn simple, easy to read insights that will have you understanding why you should own land today. For more tips and tricks, subscribe for updates, comment below, and let us know what you enjoyed about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
And remember, like and subscribe.